What's up, everyone? I'm Lurch, and today I'm going to be going over the best audio settings in CS2, as well as a free software that can help you hear things louder and make your audio better in CS2 and maybe give you a competitive advantage. So, the reason I'm making this video is because I've noticed a lot lately that I'm having to call out audio cues to my teammates because they're just not hearing these little things that I can hear, uh, such as like smokes popping across the map. Maybe my teammate is in a clutch situation and they're holding an angle and they don't hear someone running up behind them, or they don't hear, something like a Molotov, right? So if I have a teammate who's sandwiched right here and there's an enemy here, ready to light off a Molotov, they don't hear that Molotov getting lit up right behind them. You know what I mean? And I'm having to make these calls to my teammates all the time. So if you are struggling with picking up on small audio cues, you have teammates making audio calls to you because you missed it, this is the video for you. So with that being said, let's jump straight in to the audio settings. First of all, master volume, 100%. I don't know how anyone is hearing anything with a volume that's less than 100%. If your volume is anything less than 100%, you're trolling. You have to be trolling. Either that or you have an external audio interface with the volume turned all the way up on it. And for some reason, instead of just turning that down and then turning the game up, you know what I mean? But yeah, 100% always. If it's not 100%, definitely trolling. Next, we have EQ profile. Crisp simply just sounds the best. It quite literally makes your audio more crispy. You can test these for yourself if you want to. I've done it, and crisp wins every time. Left to right isolation. Now, if you read the first section, it's basically saying that it's the most accurate option, but I've found that that's not the case at all. You'll have an enemy running up behind you who's slightly to the left, but you kind of can't tell that it's coming from the left because you're still hearing that audio in your right, and it's kind of hard to tell exactly where that enemy is coming from. So you turn around kind of looking in the wrong direction or something. But at the same time, if you turn this all the way up to 100, it's going to be hard to pan to either left or right. So if something's coming from your right ear, you're like only going to hear it in your right ear. But if they're like not immediately to your right, that's going to be a problem because you're going to make a 90-degree turn to your right, and they're going to be slightly behind you, but to your right or something. You know what I mean? You don't want that at 100. I found that 60 to 75% is the sweet spot. I put it at 70, which is basically like almost in the middle of those two. I've just found this to be perfect. You can play around with this if you want, but 60 to 75% is really the sweet spot. Perspective correction, no. Uh, you can read this part right here, but I've just found that no is just better. I don't know how to explain it, but it pairs well with the 70% left-right isolation. Again, the first section is basically trying to tell you that it's more accurate, but it's simply not. I don't know why it even says that, but it just doesn't sound good with it on. Um, Next, we'll move down to the music. Anyone who takes the game seriously in any capacity has pretty much all of this off, right? Maybe you keep MVP volume on so you can hear the music kit that you paid for, but I don't know. I have a music kit and I still have this turned off. I don't even know why you'd want to hear music in the middle of your gameplay. You know what I mean? It's just distracting. If you're already tilted, the last thing you're gonna want to hear is some troll music. But I just turned this all off except for 10-second warning volume, just so when you're really in those locked situations. This is just a little, this just keeps you in check. It's just a little, hey, like the bomb is about to go off. You have 10 seconds. You're either gonna defuse that thing or you gotta run. You know what I mean? Now this down here, This is just different EQ profiles for different game modes. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but I just have them all on default. If you have them on default, it just uses whatever you have set here. Now that that's out of the way, let's go about talking about the free software that I mentioned earlier. Here we have Piece Equalizer. All right, Piece Equalizer is a plugin for Equalizer APO. You need to download Equalizer APO before you download Piece. Piece is a plugin for Equalizer, so you need this first. But with that being said, Piece Equalizer is literally what it says it is. It's an equalizer, right? You can adjust the different frequencies. These are my settings. I have this set for footsteps, so I just Googled, what frequencies the footsteps in CS2 fall within, and then I just adjusted these accordingly. But that's not what we're really here to talk about. We're here to talk about this feature right here, the gain, the pre-amplifier right here. This is going to allow you to boost the volume louder than what your headset and what Windows allow you to go to. You can super boost this thing. Personally, I have my audio extremely freaking loud. I have it set to a point where it's just barely at the threshold of hurting my ears. Actually, how I set my audio is I turn it up to the point where it's hurting my ears, and then I turn it down a little by little until it's just under the point where it starts to hurt my ears. Right? I can hear everything. I got a good set of IEMs, so I can literally hear pretty much anything from across the map. I can hear footsteps from as far as you can possibly hear them within the game. I know that footsteps only travel a certain distance, but you can hear it just on the edge of that distance, you know? So yeah, I really hope that this video helped you out, and I hope I don't have to call out sound cues to my teammates anymore. So hopefully this video gets pretty far. But yeah, if you've been struggling with picking up on small audio cues within CS2, if you've been having your teammates scream at you for missing audio cues, this video should help out. Thanks for watching.